Hello everyone and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Today we are designing the second stage in the Frostgrave Solo campaign that I am building. So in the first one we looked at this area here where the players will emerge from this side and with the goal of to get into this building. Potentially picking up treasure from one of these two locations and dealing with these gargoyles with the idea that they try to get in within 6 turns. So, following that, they end up in this area here, where we actually have a bunch of encounters filled out. 4 encounters and an armor in some chests. So, what was it that I had wanted to do here? So, we've got this little safe area where we've got to spawn. The idea would be between games, this is your chance to rest, recuperate, open treasure. And then when you open these doors, you would face this encounter. These stairs are the stairs up to the next level, which is where the following encounter is, the following board is, but it is locked off. So the idea would be if you go up there, you can't get the key. The key is on this vampire here. So I remember I wanted her to be asleep. So we'd have a clock. We'd start the game with a clock. After 6 turns, she would wake up. And I think I was thinking about the idea of these clocks stacking. So 6 turns to get in. And if you do so, that would then start the 6-turn clock to get into our second board. But if you got in earlier, you would get extra rounds. If you got in late, so if it took you 9 rounds to get in here, then you've only got 3 rounds before the vampire wakes up. If you get to the vampire's coffin, then you can spend an action to open the coffin and stake her. Or maybe it's an action to open the coffin and then an action to stake the vampire inside the coffin, and then take her key. Now, I did have on the side of the board some treasures and some skeletons. On the other side of the board, I have an army and more treasures and ghouls. So I think that the right-hand side of the board I'd set up for the top board or the third board, and the left-hand side of the board is for the second board that we're looking at now. So if we look here, we've got a number of crates. 1, 2, 3, 4 crates, 5 crates. And we've got a couple of extra skeletons. The idea is definitely you look in the crate and it's the same mechanic as this area here, where you look in the crate and there is a chance that it's got one of the remaining items here. So you'd go 1, 2, 3, roll 1d3 and put whatever in, and then the next one you'd open, you go 1d2, 1, 2, put the remaining one in. So what was the go here? 1 crate, 2 crate. I've got these little crates. Was I expecting to use them as well? There's no crates in the library here. There's just these armors. There's a crate here. A crate here. All of these doors, I think I just wanted them to be an action to open, and the undead would not open them. So you can pace yourself going through here, but by pacing yourself moving through, you are going to end up having to fight the vampire. What were these extra 2 skeletons for? I mean, that was pretty much the crux of the board. And I can't remember what those 2 skeletons, the 2 extra skeletons were for. Doesn't feel like it would be right to have extra boxes. I feel like 2 treasures to 3 monsters is probably the right number of the right chance to find a treasure. Because otherwise 5 monsters to 3 treasures would be a bit difficult. These encounters, I think, were 3 at a time because you basically they're reasonably easy to move through, and you have to move through these rooms 1 at a time. Essentially, you can't go from here into here into here into here. You have to go through these doors unless you've got spells like is it Shatter that will break walls down? Though the living armors, the armor constructs, are just there by themselves. I think that was pretty much it. Did I want to do something interesting with the library? Or is it just that's where the coffin for this vampire is? Maybe it was when the vampire rises, like, no, let's move you to be here. And then, now I know that TaleSpire does now have, is it... How did you do the box selection? No, doesn't work. You can supposedly select multiple creatures at once with the box selection thing. Maybe it's when she spawns, these 2 spawn as well. That's the only thing I can think I was thinking with that. One, 2. So if I move through here, I've got 1 crate, 2 crate. Move through here, I've got 1, 2, 3. Unless I did intend for these 2 to be searchable. But if they're both searchable... Yeah, if they're not searchable, there's no reason to be in this room. So I think I'll actually... I'm going to get rid of these. So there's 2 crates in here, which actually gives the player incentive. And so now we do actually have this ratio, but I feel like I need another treasure then. Because otherwise, what's the point? I mean, I just thinking that that's too difficult. It does give you the incentive here now, though, because you've now got 4 chances versus 3 chances. Even though this is probably the easier route to take. Because if you move all of your troops together, one into here, then into here, take this one, move into here to get the chance at 2 treasures, maybe deal with both of them at the same time, and then come into here, stake the vampire, potentially before the 6 turn mark. Get the key, and then it's how much extra risk do you want to take? Pulling out treasures. And you've got 3 chances, so you might pull 1, 2, 3, or you might pull something like that. At which point you're going, I've only got 1 treasure left I can find. I might not. Yeah, I think I need to have another treasure box here somewhere. I guess down here. Is where it makes sense. Because now it is come in, fight 3 skeletons, fight 2 skeletons and a zombie, fight 2 skeletons and a zombie. Take the extra risk, burn the extra time, and then move up. That's probably. How do I try to remember how this works? It's been a while since I built anything. Open library, and I want. I haven't looked at any of the cyberpunk stuff yet, so that's cool. I think I want monstrous. I'm guessing mimics are monstrous. There we go. Okay, so if we record this, we've got scenario 1, scenario 2. So the setup is a board with multiple closed off rooms. Set up a multiple closed off rooms. The far room. The player spawns in an empty entrance room. The next room is stairs up to board 3. The doors to board 3 are locked. There should be at least 2 pathways to a room on the far side of the board. Containing a vampire coffin. Set up. How many did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Set up 8 crates for the players to search along the different routes. Set up 8 crates for the players to search along the different routes. Each route to the vampire's coffin should be a door. Should be a room with closed doors. Special rules. Opening a door takes 1 action. On game start a clock with 6 turns. After the 6th turn, the vampire awakens and gets out of its coffin. If the player gets a model, go staking the vampire. If the player gets to the vampire before it awakens, player gets a model to the vampire before it awakens. The model may spend an action to stake it. Opening the coffin. Any model that opens the coffin must spend an action. Now, I imagine this means you actually need 2 models, because I believe that the way Frostgrave works is you get 2 actions, but one of those actions must be a movement action. And so you can't just take, I'm standing next to the coffin, so I open the coffin and then I stake the vampire. It's going to be, you get 2 models there, and one of them opens the coffin, the second one stakes the vampire. Taking the key. Taking the key to the first floor, board 3, off the vampire, off the vampire's corpse, takes 1 turn. It I'm going to say it takes up an inventory slot. It takes up an inventory slot, but it acts like treasure. No, we'll just say once the I think that the goal then becomes getting the key to the end point. It takes up an inventory slot, and the key needs to get to the stairs to enter board 3. Moving the key between models works as per the treasure rules, but it does not slow units down. No, it works as per the item rules. It's just another item. And so a model that doesn't have a free inventory slot wouldn't be able to hold it. And I'm pretty sure that there are rules for dropping items and picking up new items. It's just treasure that breaks people down. If I'm wrong about that, I'm going to have to modify this area. Special rules. Now, can I just take living statues, storehouses? Hang on. Oh, hang on. Did I not write? Yeah, optional. Okay, so it's not the wraiths. Where? I apparently didn't sort my things properly. Storehouses. When a model searches a crate. Yep. I'm going to have to rewrite that because it's not done properly. But searching a crate. Crate. The crate can have either treasures or skeletons in them. Roll on the following table. Do we want to roll high? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll on the following table. When an item from the table is discovered, it can not be rediscovered. Roll again. But yeah, so basically I want to random select out of those things. I can find up to 3 treasures. I can find up to 5 skeletons. For example, if a model searches a crate, roll 1d8. I roll 1d8 and get a 6. Finding a treasure. the model can now pick up the treasure on its next action. I then search a second crate and get a 6 again because I have already found that treasure. I need to roll again to find either a different item. I think that makes sense. So what have I got? I've got these. I should probably say that. No. No. Why are you creating? I want. Okay, fine. I'll do it manually. Searching the crate. NPC movement. NPCs do not open doors if they are in a room that is empty, that has closed doors. They do not move unless a non-undead creature is in the room. Let's call it monster movement. Undead movement. Undead movement. If a door is open and non-undead creatures are in the adjacent room, then check to see if the creature has visibility, if the undead has visibility on the creature. Check to see if the undead has visibility on the creature. And if so, move to attack. Vampire movement. Vampires are intelligent. Roll to see which direction they move in. If the direction is a wall with a door, they move toward the door, open it, and go through. Otherwise, they use normal creature movement. So now, when our vampire wakes up, she's going to just sort of move around, but if she moves sort of towards a door, she's actually going to move towards that door, open it and go through, and then start wandering around, essentially, this little maze, which might make it easier or harder for the player, depending on random chance and luck. So these guys will just stay where they are unless the door is open, but they will not open the door. The vampire will open the doors. I'm not going to say anything about closing the doors behind her, but she will move around at random. And then this treasure is available there for the players. Taking the key. Yep. Stairs up. I better put a thing for the stairs up. Taking the stairs to board 3. Taking the stairs to board 3 can only be done once the key has been found. And the model that has the key must be the first to ascend. After this, all remaining models can move off the board, up the stairs to the next scenario. Yes. Now, treasure and experience. Did I do that for the I don't know that I did that for scenario 1. No, I didn't. I don't know that there is anything abnormal to be had, treasure and experience wise. I think that I want to give, not for the scenario 1, but scenario 2. Let's go staking the vampire is worth 40 experience. So if you get to the vampire and stake it, it's basically the same as getting a treasure in experience. If you have to fight and defeat the vampire, then it's just worth the same amount of experience as fighting and defeating any creature, which I think is 5. So there's potentially a lot of experience on this board. Pity 2nd edition of Frostgrave curtails that to 300. And I think that's probably all there is to the second scenario. Now I didn't talk about the clock special rules. I think that there's something to write about clocks. Let's go special rules for the campaign. Clocks stack. If there is each scenario has a clock. The clock for the next scenario ends when the clock for the previous scenario starts, even if the player has not made it to the scenario yet. If the player makes it to the scenario, to the next scenario before the previous scenario stops, scenario's clock stops, then that clock continues before the current scenario's clock. So, did I talk about the clock for skeleton patrols? After turn 6, skeletons will start to patrol the manor. Yeah, so you've got a 6-turn clock. And then skeletons start patrolling the manor, making it harder to do. And also, the clock starts for scenario 2. So if you then spend, so not only if I'm on scenario 1, I'd take 6 turns here. I'm going to start getting these spawning creatures. If I then take 3 turns to get through these doors and start the scenario, then I've only got 3 turns left on the clock before the vampire wakes up. Brilliant. I think that's going to be everything there. Let me know what you think. Is it too easy, too hard? I'm not going to really know until I playtest it, which I'm not doing until after I finish writing the rest of the scenarios. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.